While that rally was going on in Brussels, in Poland, tractors paraded in big cities to protest what farmers there see as unfair competition from Ukraine. For more, let's go to Bordeaux. Christopher Derrett is a spokesperson for the Coordination Rurale Farmers Union. You're also a farmer yourself and a vintner. You herd sheep and grow fruit and vegetable. Let me ask you, this movement, for you personally, what's it all about?
It's people have had enough. They can't actually cope anymore when the overall costs are higher than what's actually their salary now. Obviously, when it's a crisis that doesn't last too long, they can manage to pick up again. But this has been now a downturn as far as many productions are concerned, and it's not getting better. So people consider it's not worth the trouble farming. People are abandoning farming. Some, very unfortunately, of course, suicide rate going up. So we're very, very anxious. It's more an expression of despair than of actual anger. It's like a last-minute call for help. The government seems too close, in a way, to understand.
Where could the government help? I know there's a farm bill being worked on that's now been delayed. What could the government do?
Well, right now, of course, the start is to start listening and receiving and listening to the responsible people who've unfortunately been entirely forgotten over all this period. It's been very much a political concern to one way and to the other with lobbies, rather than the professionals having any words to say. And it's it's like a last-minute effort before people give up, actually.
When you talk about lobbies that own the conversation, what do you mean specifically?
Well, I'm an ecologist myself, but in certain circumstances, they push too far in measures which don't actually let you survive and have your own crop. Supposing I give you the example of cherries, for example. Obviously, in France, we have a marvelous production, very high quality production. But if you cannot use a product to defend your crop, if necessary, then it goes to waste. And we just import a similar product, which has been treated, you see.
And you, by the way, grow organic fruit and vegetable. And so you're saying it's over-regulation in the wrong direction. What about with the big grocery chains? What could the government do?
Well, it's obviously true that now it's the intermediaries that obviously play the game. And the difference in prices is so extraordinary that if you actually say to the common public how much you're selling for, there's no way they could believe you. It's really the multiplication has not much sense to it, really. At one point, they did actually want, a few years ago, to publish at what price the producers were actually selling for. And then, of course, a week later, they pulled out because it was just not understandable to the common public. Supposing, for example, my walnuts last year, the walnut crop, the strike went on in Paris when it came to 50 centimes of euro a kilo, which is not even a fifth of the cost price. Obviously,
why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why does it feel as though since COVID, the margins have gotten that much worse?
Well, the world market is much developed, and in all these products. And for example, we were talking of walnuts. Well, that happens to be Moldavia, which is actually all its production has become French, if you like, all of a sudden. In the wine world, as you know, there's a certain volume produced which is not selling sufficiently. And whereas obviously there's no way you can protect the barriers and prevent products coming from the world, the entire world. But it makes such a high quality product in France with such draconian controls that it cannot be given away. It's not possible. And so it's very, very dangerous situation now when people can no longer actually survive continuing their activity.
All right, pay the fair due for quality goods. Many thanks, Christopher Derrett, for joining us from Bordeaux in the southwest of France.
Thank you.
Stay with us. There's more to come, more news, plus the day's business. And in sports, we'll give you an update from the Africa Cup of Nations.